Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey there. Welcome. Oh my goodness. So we are here with Zondra Evans, who was in this month's Speakers Magazine for December. And she is right there on page, I believe it is page 4 in Speakers Magazine. And I'm excited because it's been a long time. We met on LinkedIn. So let's head over here and say hi to my LinkedIn family. They're over there. They say, hey. So we're going to today talk about how to leverage streaming platforms with Zondra Evans. And let me just read you a little bit of her formal bio, okay? So her formal bio, which is in Speakers Magazine, speakersmagazine.net. She's an award-winning talk show host and executive producer of ZTV Network. And she is a bona fide powerhouse shattering women's norms in business, minority business owners, and small businesses. In less than 24 months is what I want you to hear, with her eyes focused on building and refining her 2 decades of corporate leadership, which we'll delve into a little bit of that. She'll give you her background. But she has become the go-to icon for helping women create the necessary skills to be revered as respected leaders and assessing one's true power and potential. Now, she is executive producer of ZTV Network, so we'll talk about that, which is a global multimedia platform. ZTV touts itself as an affordable global marketing and advertising company that leverages TV streaming platforms such as Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Chromecast to showcase small businesses and provide global exposure, get this, with a potential to reach more than 200 million viewers and users on multiple different streaming platforms. So I'll let you read the rest of it. She's a part of a lot of organizations. She's out of Dallas. Well, not today, but she's out of Dallas, and she's a part of a lot of organizations, the National Association of Women Business Owners, eWomen's Network. She's part of the brand equity and leadership team for Dallas Professional Women and MetroCrest Chamber of Commerce, and a lot of other things. But she is has the Zondra TV Network. Zondra TV Network, ZTV Network, is recognized by the Academy of Interactive and Visual Arts as a Communicator Award winner, which is a big deal. So you want to go to ZondraTV.com, ZondraTV.com, to find out more about that and what this is about. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Zondra. I am so glad. So, I want to know. So you have this 2 decades of corporate, and then you're doing the TV network. Tell me what it's all about.
Like, who does that, right? I am a loyal individual. And so I think the point of loyalty in corporate America kind of doesn't even exist too much anymore. But, I had 2 major jobs and worked at 2 corporations in 40 years. So one company was 25 and the other one was right at 15. And so when I got the golden handshake, I was just, everybody else was crying and I was skipping through the halls. And I was like, something's wrong with you, Zondra. Why are you skipping?
Because you is like, okay, I'm on to my next chapter.
I'm on to the next chapter. And I'll tell you this, Pam. Everybody needs an exit strategy. And what I figured out early on, exit strategy as we know it is for business owners. Like, you should have an exit strategy when you're going to get out of your business. But every individual needs an exit strategy, even if you're working in corporate America. And I had an exit strategy. So all I did was take it off the shelf, blow the dust off of it, and start executing.
Wow. And so your exit strategy, was it always to be like a TV network owner? So I know you had the I guess you would say the it factor on television because you really liked it. You came alive doing that. So how did the whole streaming thing, and first of all, how long has the company been around? How long is
Zed's Corp in itself, we've been around for a little bit over 4 years. But Zondra TV Network, I mean, really doing TV has been a little bit over 2.5 years. So it's almost 3 years soon. But I did not leave corporate America to be in TV. I have a business degree, but you know what? There are times when you are presented with that blue rose moment and that you have the opportunity to reinvent yourself. And Pam, I had the opportunity to reinvent myself. And so that's really how I got into TV. I left corporate America to do what? Speak on bigger stages, write a best-selling book, and by the way, do my life and leadership coaching, what I have been trained to do. And so I did all those things, and that was cool. But then TV came.
And so the TV came because you had a publicist that was putting you on media places and putting you out there, getting you out there. And every time you would do a television interview, people would ask you to come back. They would say, we love what you said. Please come back. You were talking about your book, which is, what's the name of your book? So people will know.
The Power of Investing in You.
There you go.
You're the most valuable asset and the true resource.
See, that's it. You can see she's passionate about that, right? So she's on television. She's talking about the power of investing in you.
Yeah.
And every time she would go on a television interview, people would say, wow, this is so great. We got to have you back. And then so kind of tell us like how the role came or how you kind of got that clue, like maybe this is something I should be doing.
You know, I'm not sure. The clue is I had one thing left to do on my vision board. And that one thing was to actually film. And I was only filming it to go on YouTube like everybody else, that I was going to film Fireside Chat with Zondra. And in my mind, I was going to sit around the fire with some cheese crackers and grapes and a glass of champagne or wine. And we were going to talk about a subject and just have a good time and have it filmed. Okay. I was going to edit it and put it on YouTube. But 3 days before I filmed that, I got a call. And that call was to offer me my first Roku channel. And I was like, really? So I prayed about it and God said yes. And so I called him back a day later and said, I'll buy the channel. And so that's how it all got started.
Wow.
And he didn't know me. He heard about me from somebody in Chicago.
And probably saw one of the interviews.
Right? All the interviews I'm doing, somebody told him, she's the right person for your network. You need to call her. So that's how it got started.
Oh my God. All right. So explain to everyone who is really new to this whole streaming thing. So Zondra TV Network, it went from being a channel on his network to now owning your own network. So explain the Roku and all of this, how this works. Are they apps? Are they websites? Are they,
how is it?
Membership? Are they, so what is it?
Well, there's so many ways to look at it, Pam, but you know what? It is streaming TV. And if you look at what is happening in the environment today, people are not really getting cable TV. Cable TV is kind of, people are cord cutting every day. And streaming now is the way people are ingesting information. And so, if I was to ask it, in a room of 50 people, how many of you either have Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV, 98% of the room go raise their hand that they have some way to stream. Mm-hmm. And so streaming is the new TV. And I like to say it's not new, but it's now. Right. This is the way people are being heard. And this is the way that people are being, growing their business. So it really is, it replaces cable TV.
So this is someone that can I fairly say that you're a baby boomer?
I am.
Okay. So a baby boomer who has then left corporate America, not doing television, who got her first show, first channel. Well, first was going to do YouTube, then got offered a channel. Then from there, from the channel to the whole network. So explain how that came about. And now you're putting other people on your network. Yeah. So they can have their own channel. So
it's crazy. So Pam, my stories are long and they're crazy, but when I bought my first channel, they left me for dead, Pam. They said that they were going to teach me streaming. And remember, I'm a baby boomer. But here's my new saying. I'm a baby boomer with millennial tendencies.
There you go. Me too.
I had enough millennial in me to bring this thing on home, right? So, that is who I am. So they left me for dead. They didn't teach me. And I was like, okay, this is crazy. In fact, that original channel that they tried to sell me on their network is not even in business anymore.
Wow.
So I could have just folded up and went home. Okay, it's over with. Let me go and take my Jacks and my rocks and let me take them on home, right? But I said, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy my own channel, get a channel.
Yeah.
But the way it happened is before they went out of business, somebody back east got a channel on Comcast and needed a talk show host. And he referred me to him. He loved me. He put me on Comcast regionally. And then from there, the people that I started interviewing with and were asking me to come back said, call me up and said, we want a meeting. And they did. And they offered me to join their family. And I was like, what is going on? So, okay, now this thing is getting really big. Well, in 2019, people start coming to me going, I want to be on your network. I want to be on your network. And I was like, I was looking at them like, you do? Because in my plan, I wasn't going to build a network until 2021 or 22. And so in August of 19, I heard God's voice and he said, I needed to build the network. And I was like, God, this is a lot of money. I'm a solopreneur. I mean, what am I going to do? But I built the network. At the same time, I heard the voice that said, and I also want you to build a TV media incubator. And I want you to teach everybody everything that I've taught you. Because God really did teach me. Now, he sent me resources, but he also aligned me with the right people at the right time. So I built the network in August of 19. We did a soft launch in December 19. In January, somehow that thing hit my inbox about the Communicators Award. I didn't know nothing about that. I'm not from this world, but it hit. And I heard a little voice say, apply. And I was like, apply. And we did. And out of 6,600 plus people, we won. Wow. Which is crazy, right? That's a crazy story. But then in March, when the pandemic hit, I'm like, what am I going to do? I got to put on my business PPE. What does that mean? That's the business pivot, plan, and execute quickly. So I was like, I got to put it on. So I did. I said, okay, I've got this incubator built. God, I want 5 people to work with me in the incubator. And I heard a little still voice that said, I want you to cut your prices in half so that people won't have any reason not to work with you on this. So I did. I made a list and I invited them to a meeting, and I didn't get 5 producers that wanted to have shows. I got 12.
Wow.
So
12 producers. And this was during the pandemic.
During the pandemic.
12 producers to work with, to have shows. That's how the network filled out so quickly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
wow.
ma'am.
So what are some of the shows, Zondra? What are some of the shows? So yours is the flagship show. So what is it the Fireside?
Well, Fireside Chat is where I started. I love that because it's like, when I'm doing TV, anybody that's doing TV with me, we're not talking about Hollywood and Brad Pitt. We ain't doing all that. We're talking about real life stuff. So it really, Fireside Chat is my coaching. I get to coach and I get to coach globally, right? I can, people in Europe, I got so many clients in Europe now because they see me on TV. So that was a beautiful thing. So I love Fireside Chat. Real life issues that we talk about and we navigate through, and it's a group of women. And then the Fireside Real Biz Talk with Zondra, is my business show because I believe that you need to be heard, you need to be seen, and you need to grow.
Get out there and get done. That's what I'm talking about. I love it.
When those things align, it's good, right, Pam? And so those are my shows. But the other shows that have come in are vet shows, like for veteran women that have been in the military that need to transition into civilian. How do you take those skills and transfer them into civilian life? I've got leadership TV shows. I've got faith-based leadership
Mhm.
shows that are all about faith, how to have faith and keep it moving as an entrepreneur.
Mm.
We've got the Path to Healing show, which is really awesome because Tracy Boone is not only on Zondra TV Network, but she is also on the Word Network and Preach It Network. So
Yeah.
but she's on Zondra TV. And I'm like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
like so honored that she said, I want to be on your network too.
Yes, yes.
So
The
we
Web
have,
Network just happens to be in Michigan too. So by the way, so that's a big deal. I mean, they have millions of dollars that they put in to that network. So for her to say, "Yeah, I want to be on Zondra TV," that is for someone who was not from a career of television. I love it. I love
huge.
it. But that's the power of really
Yeah.
God and really having intention and loving what you do, because it sounds like it all started with this book. So it sounds like different chapters or different parts of the book are really being amplified on your network.
It's being amplified on the network. It is, even the leadership book that I wrote that was a bestseller too, which was awesome because it was an anthology of 4 women. And overnight I was like, this is so cool, right? But I got to write the leadership component to this book. It's called Impact: Life, Leadership, Legacy. I wrote the leadership component to that. So then to have someone come in with a leadership show that really teaches you how to just really serve the world, the genuine, authentic you, and be a leader and how to lead gracefully. I was like, this is just nirvana. It's all being lived out. So it's just great.
I love it. And so in terms of your set, in terms of production, the advertising, how does one really get onto a Roku or what's the other one that people, Amazon Prime, is that really the same? I'm trying to think of Amazon Prime, Roku. There was the other one you said,
Apple
Apple
TV.
Apple TV. So those are subscription-based television, but it's not like Netflix. It's a little bit different because
Not really. None of them are subscription based. So because I'm not on Prime, I'm on Amazon Fire, which
okay.
is free TV to everybody.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
Okay.
so is Roku, free TV. There are some premium channels, but when I started, I took the path of I'm not charging for my content for the world to see it because I'm trying to really become global, not for me, but because of the message I need to send to the nation.
That's
And
it.
so while I do have some premium content on my channel, for the most part, almost everything you can see on my channel is absolutely free.
And then
so
they go to the ZondraTV.com.
You can go to ZondraTV.com. You could download Zondra TV channel on any of those platforms and just sit back and watch it in the comforts of your own home. That, and just to have those producers that are out there, just speaking in volumes about what they're doing on TV is they're the foot soldiers. They're I call them my first disciples, that really are out there to teaching and telling the message. But, you can get involved too with advertisement and sponsorship and become title sponsors. And so, we do that with mid to large size companies, and some small companies also want to do that because we know that 98% of the businesses in business are small business. So we really cater to the small business.
I love that. So someone can get involved where they can actually contact you to have their own show. They could be a title sponsor. They can do commercials.
Yes.
So it's a build out for not only your message, but also for businesses to be in front of. You said potential of 200 million viewers. So it's not only just the show itself, production, but actually getting in front of those viewers. So how does one, I guess you would say, engage in that process?
It's easy. Just go to BeOnZTV, BeOnZTV.com, and schedule a complimentary discovery call. And we'll talk about what you need, what you would like to do. And then from there, the process begins. But, Pam, I have to tell you, it's probably the most affordable platform for small business that's out there. And so we're on a crusade to tell people how important it is. And, even with our recent addition to Hulu, We're excited about, I know, right?
I didn't know
We're
that. Yes.
excited about Hulu. Hulu invited us to be in the beta test for commercial advertisement. And so we're in the beta test, and I have a commercial that's playing on Hulu right now that their viewers are seeing, and it's sending them back to Zondra TV.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. I love how this just rolls. It just rolls into more and more, and you're open to it, and it's intentional because kind of like the last guest that I had, where she talked about knowing your why, knowing your brand, really understanding the power of storytelling is that it begins with your brand, your story. And once you have that intention, you really then from there, things just kind of move into the next phase and the next phase. So by you being on those different channels and being open to it, and like you said, being in the right place at the right time, showing up. I would say those that show up, go up is happening. And so you're in the beta test because you said, no, I don't want to be in anybody's beta test. But you were like, no, I'll be in the beta test. And it's like, yeah, so you never know how who's going to see it on Hulu.
You know what, Pam? I'm waiting for Hulu to call me one day and just say, we want your show to be on, Hulu as well. I just think the door is opening. I think that our content is rich. The commercial that we have is just amazing. I call it my smash up commercial, where all of the different shows and guests, and it's just an amazing commercial that's out there right now. And I was just checking the stats, and in less than 5 days, over 6,000 people have already seen our commercial. And so
and this is for someone that wanted to just like, I'm going to do just a little show and we're going to get it on YouTube. It's like, no, I've got something bigger for you to do.
Yeah, it's a faith walk. It's a faith walk because it's not what I wanted to do. In fact, I had to even have a reconciliation with God because I said, now listen, I wanted to have a mic in my hand in front of thousands. And God just spoke to me and said, but which do you choose? A mic in your hand in front of thousands or a mic around your neck in front of millions? Now you make the decision, Zondra. And that's the day I accepted the call and said, okay. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. But I can tell you it's a faith walk, and not always do I know what's next. And that's a little different for me.
Yeah, because one of the things too, when you're doing production, there's so much that's always changing. You always have to stay on top of that. And you are over all the other shows, their quality as well, because you got to do their quality check as well, not just your show, but their shows as well. Then there's the other business development phase or the advertising phase. You've got all these different pieces. So you're like an agency. So you're managing all these different pieces. But the main thing is that you're getting out there, you're getting known, ZondraTV.com. I love how you branded that in ZTV. And I like this, if you can see this, with the microphone. So you do have the microphone in your hand, even if it's just for the prop for this particular one, because it's a ZTV with the mic thing. Yeah. But one of the main things is that you are the founder of Empowering Women, which is a nonprofit supporting women in business, at-risk youth, and aiding sheltered women returning to the workforce. So explain to me and to our audience, like how that came about. Was that something that you were doing while you were in corporate and you left, or was it something when you knew that when I leave corporate, this is what I'm going to do?
No, actually, it was after I left corporate. I think that significant emotional events actually cause you to do a deep reflection. And after I left my corporate job, my first corporate job, I only had two, but I left my first corporate job to be at home with my daughter. My mother passed away. And I didn't, I was leaving power on the table, Pam. I wasn't using the name Zondra. I was using my middle name, which is Yvette. And it's not even spelled traditionally. It's spelled Evett, which is Evet to some people. Right. I've just been screaming since 1959. I'm like, oh, well, this is who I am. And so my mother passed away, and it was like I was getting this flow of information coming in. And one of the things that I heard very loudly was that I needed to use my God-given name. And so I started to use Zondra Evans. And Pam, I will tell you, that was my power for 40 years that I was leaving on the table. Wow. And when I started to use that name, I got to speak in Alaska, in Scottsdale, in Los Angeles. I was all over the place. And it also gave me this download of I need to create a nonprofit to help women, to empower them, to motivate them, to know that you have everything. You really do have everything inside of you. It's whether or not you could be courageously intentional enough to access that potential. So
that's really the platform too of Zondra TV. Yeah. Overall.
It is.
So they do combine with each other. So I love that. So the nonprofit as well. So like I said, the things that you have done to help women and to really empower in this new platform of streaming, would you suggest someone who is not familiar with television, they have a, say, author or speaker, which a lot of authors and speakers listen to this show. There was a Dr. Kimberly, I believe, Porter, I believe she was on LinkedIn. How would she go about, would they pitch a show to you in terms of a like an idea written, or do they give you a pilot of a show? How do they pitch you, I guess you would say?
So good. I love the questions. Pam, these are great questions that they haven't been asking me, but everything starts with a discovery call. I don't think that people need to shoot a pilot. Oh, and I'm going to say, yeah, you could be on the channel. No, it's simply, I have a desire to tell. I have a desire to, I'm in an interview.
Those are the grants. I love it.
Grants. Okay, I'm in it.
Okay. She said 30 minutes. We're 26.
I hope you can fix that up. But anyhow, it's who I am. I'm a grandmother, and that's it. So here's the thing. You be on ZTV is the way everything gets started. It gets started with a discovery call, because this is not cookie cutter. And even though I develop producers on how to produce good content, but more than that, how to monetize their content.
That's it. That is okay. They listen. Everybody is in like a lockdown, can't go outside. This is definitely 2020 is a year of like the kids are going to be home all the time.
All the time. Okay.
We gotta live with it.
And this is today y'all want to do it. But
Zondra, I just thank you so much. Congratulations on the Communicator Award, the Visual Arts as a Communicator Award. That was major. And there's more major things coming for you, I'm sure, on the horizon. We want to make sure that we stay in contact with you and people stay in contact with you as well, so they can go to ZondraTV.com to watch the shows, but also to be on ZTV.com for a discovery call to really, get out there and get known, because you got to be intentional about it and really just put your faith in action. Faith without works is dead. So make sure that you put your faith. You want to see yourself on TV? Well, you got to make the call. Yeah. And Zondra can help you because she is out there doing it. So thank you so much for joining us today. I just think you're fabulous. I really do. This is the next book that's coming out. I think we need to see this one.
Well, actually, I'm going to be talking to you about a book potential.
Yes.
In 2021, and what we're talking about doing, I think you'd be perfect to be included.
I would love that. Because I'm telling you, 2020 has made it so that I'm more bold and intentional with the things that I want to do with my life, because life is not promised and we don't know when things are going to end. And you just really have to follow the inner voice and do it and not be afraid. So thank you so much for joining us today. Zondra Evans, thank you. And I will be sending you your magazines.
Thank you. I will send you the address.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Talk with you all later. I'm Pam Perry, and I am out.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast, brought to you by PamPerryPR.com, where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where you help you shine like a superstar.